Shalom, brothers. Welcome to another episode of GMS Walk and Talk. I'm here in Washington, D.C. I'm in the court district, and we're about to go to the statue of Albert Pike. Right, and we're gonna have a little discourse about the statue and bring out a little information concerning this guy Albert Pike, which was a warlock, a witch, and it proves one thing. It proves that America is about witchcraft, because if that's not the case, why would you honor a guy such as Albert Pike, who was a high degree Mason, which the word masonry means master builder, and anybody that's in masonry that's worth his weight in salt will tell you that it's really about witchcraft. As a matter of fact, Albert Pike himself says that masonry is about witchcraft. It's all about witchcraft. And America is known in the scriptures as the mistress of witchcraft. We're in the heart of this witchcraft city right now, which is Washington, D.C. As a matter of fact, think over to that way is the Washington Monument, which is nothing but an Egyptian obelisk. All right, so let's take it over to Albert Pike statue, and let's carry on from there. Okay, as promised, we're here at the Albert Pike statue. Now, you notice, first of all, there's some Latin words here. Laborum ejus supercites, I guess, sunt fructos. Now, I was trying to, on my smartphone, I was trying to look up what that means, but I wasn't able to retrieve that information as of now. But in post-production, I'll be able to put what that Latin phrase, or that Latin phrase that you're looking at, I'll be able to put the meaning of it, what it means, so you can understand what it means. Well, what I notice is that they have, now if you pan up, there's Albert Pike himself. There he is himself, and we're going to talk about him. But before I go into the specifics of Albert Pike, you'll notice down here, if you want to get a shot of that, you'll notice it says he's an author, he's a poet. But really what he is, in reality, is a witch, a warlock. But you're not going to see that on here.
Right.
You know, he's an orator, meaning a speaker. He's a jurist. Now, first of all, for you to be a jurist, that means you have to deal with the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Bible, which is what Albert Pike didn't do. He didn't deal with the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. If anything, he was against it.
Yeah.
You know, Masonry is against the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father. And you see, they have philosopher. You get a shot of that. They have a philosopher, philanthropist. My question is, why isn't witch there? Why isn't warlock there? Why isn't Mason there? You know, over here it says erected 1901 by the Supreme Council of the AASR of Freemasonry. Oh, well, wait a minute. I spoke too soon. Of Freemasonry for the SJUSA. Now, this character, Albert Pike, in his book, he wrote a book called Morals and Dogma, which all the Masons, they regard that as being the Bible of Freemasonry. And in that book he says that Freemasonry is witchcraft. All right, so clearly you can see that America is all about witchcraft. That's one of the reasons why America is going to be destroyed. All right, why missiles are going to destroy this place, because it's all about witchcraft. And here they erected a statue of a guy that's totally into witchcraft, or that was totally into witchcraft. Here's another one. Soldier, scholar, scholar, soldier, everything. Yeah. Now, if you pan to down here, you'll see a reef. Somebody put a reef down here. You know, me and Elder Manadzak, because he's with me, we were talking, and we said they probably do, you know, the witches and warlocks. They probably do seances around here. They probably do chant Latin incantations, and you'll notice, right, that it's really over the groves. This is really like a grove, because here you have the trees arcing over the statue, right? So this is really like a grove, right?
Oh yeah, gun.
Really like a grove?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
They got them perched up in the trees like an owl or something.
Yeah. These anyway, I had some information here. Oh, by the way, let's put this on camera. So we made that observation right away. Here you have the double-headed. Now, Abishama Olive from GMS Dallas, he did a expose on the symbol here, because he went to I believe it was a courthouse in Dallas, I think it was, and they had the same symbol down there, the same double-headed. It's really a phoenix. It's not an eagle, but a double-headed phoenix, which the phoenix is a mythical bird that represents rebirth. You know, the phoenix rising out of the ashes, as it were. So if you look, you'll see they have the pyramid, and you'll see the numbers 33, which goes back to 33 degrees of Freemasonry. So this guy, Albert Pike, he was a 33rd degree Mason, which is a high level. I believe it's one of the highest levels of the Scottish Rite, because he represented the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. Okay. And you have two rites. You have the York Rite, and you have the Scottish Rite. All right, but I assure you, it's all witchcraft. Anyway, if you look down, you'll see the Latin words Deus me. I believe it's pronounced meo memte jus, which I believe roughly translated means God is my righteous work, or God is my righteousness. Something like that. And if you go back and watch Abishama Allah's video, he goes into that. He explains that, you know, the phrase. But anyway, you notice the eagle, which is not an eagle, it's a phoenix, but it's like, you know, it's closely related to the eagle, which is the symbol of the so-called white man. Pursuant to the book of Obadiah, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. So there's one clue, and then you notice the eagle is sitting on a sword. It's perched on a sword, which, where does the so-called white man get his power? He gets it from the sword. As a matter of fact, that's his blessing. All right, you go back to the book of Genesis, the blessing that Isaac gave Esau was the blessing of what? The sword, pursuant to Genesis 27 and 40. So there it is, the eagle, or the phoenix bird, which is closely related to the eagle, sitting on a sword and looking both east and west. saying that they have control, they have total power by what? By the sword. Right? So, and as you pan up, who's on top of it? Who's embodying it, so to speak? Well, one of their warlocks that embody that philosophy, Albert Pike.
Right, con. No, definitely. He was. It's well known information that he was the leader of the Freemasonry, the Scottish Rite.
Yep.
In Arkansas, in the city of Arkansas, where he wrote a lot of his books at and was a teacher and stuff like that. That's well known that he did that. You know?
He was a high official. And by the way, they call it Freemasonry because you had to be free in order to be involved in it. Now you had the so-called blacks, they had their own masonry. It's called Prince Hall. Prince Hall Masonic, that was their degree or branch of masonry. But the so-called white man's masonry is called Freemasonry, right? Which you had to be free. You had to be free-born so-called white man to be involved in it. But there it is, man. You know?
And also too, he studied law. He was a lawyer and everything. And then they let him in the bar exams. Somewhere, I think it would have been like what, the 1830s or
right.
Down the road. They let him in as a bar exam, but they show you basically all you people that practice law, the so-called lawyers and attorneys, they're nothing but a bunch of low-level masons and stuff like that.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. Low-level witches.
Low-level witches.
And according to this guy, masonry is witchcraft. He says it in that book, Morals and Dogma.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. That's the fight.
This is extremely satanic. And you notice that it's in a square, which is this what is it, the square of Freemasonry?
Yep.
But I wanted to, I had to come down here to DC on a business. So I wanted to come to the statue and I wanted to do a little expose for you brothers as part of a GMS Walk and Talk channel. I mean, you brothers, you can hit the comment board with what you discover about this bastard, Albert Pike.
Yeah, the vast history of all kinds of
another
wickedness.
word, right? They should have put on the
bastard.
Bastard.
Bastard. Yeah.
Demon worshiper. What else? Warlock. Well, they do have masonry. They have Freemasonry.
Freemason, yeah.
But they made sure they missed that.
Yeah,
they put all the good.
Witch.
Yeah, they put all the good stuff about this guy, but they made sure they didn't put the bad stuff.
That's
Another
right.
tactic of deception by the so-called white man.
Racist.
Racist. They should have put racist in there. Yeah.
Klansmen.
Klansmen. Yep. Anyway, I think I pretty much said what I had to say. This is GMS Walk and Talk, and we'll see you in the next episode.